Hell yeah, brother. Pantera are the most testosterone-fueled, unashamedly American band, milestone band in the history of heavy metal. Modern metal would not be where it is now if it wasn't Pantera. So many bands have ripped off their riffing style to death. The legendary squealing guitar, Dimebag Darrell, Phil Anselmo, Mr. Drama, Controversy Man. Non-ironically, one of the best vocalists of all time for metal. Such a really powerful and versatile voice as well. And who was the drummer? Like Vince Neil? Oh no, that's the Motley Crue guy. Look. All right, no, not Vince Neil. Vince Neil did not drum for Pantera. Yeah, Vinnie Paul. There we go. Yes, this guy. What was the bass guy called? Like Rex Brown. There's been lots of controversy, about Dimebag saying certain things, and there's like the Phil Anselmo thing with the, everyone knows about like the. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Honestly, I'm not personally invested enough to care. I don't know how many people know this, but Pantera used to be a glam band. They used to look like this. How amazing. Pantera started life a long time ago, actually. I think their first album came out in like 83 or 84. And I'm sure some of you were also aware, Phil Anselmo was not the original vocalist. They have this majestic guy here. The one... the only Mr. fucking Terry Glaze, the unsung hero of Pantera's history. He is the voice of a generation. Just look at that glorious visage. It's just... Anyway, so we're going to go through every single album in the band's discography. Yes, that means the glam ones as well. We're going to have a skim through them. Let's kick this off and go all the way back to their first album, Metal Magic. All right, Metal Magic, their very first album. Obviously, it sounds a lot different. Let's have a little listen. The voice of the Glaze himself. He sounds like he's doing this with the mic. He sounds like he's going... It's not bad. All right, it's fun. Dude, that riff actually fucks. That's pretty cool. I think Glaze and Dime were just incredibly horny during the songwriting process, yeah. Tell me if you want it. True, Terry. I do need you. Yeah! Yeah, the Glaze delivered. For this time period and this type of music, pretty cool. So, spoiler alert, the first three albums pretty much all sound the same. The next album, Projects in the Jungle, most fucking weird album name ever. Album artwork to match. It's like so few pixels on screen, I can't even see what the fuck's going on. Oh. Now, the last album was a little bit sort of like... But this one, he's going for the full-on 80s, like... I guess he enjoyed the musical stylings of Edward Van Halen. That's enough of that. There's like a solo instrumental song, like an eruption style thing. It'd be like one of those obnoxious fans who stands at the front of shows in the front row, judging the guitar playing, just like with their arms crossed the whole show, like this. Yeah, Eddie Van Glazen. All right, we'll listen to the title track. Whoa. I'm what? I'm panicking. Dude, I know these guys are from like the South, but this is some questionable literacy right here. I kind of enjoyed the first one. It was pretty fun. But this one, yeah. So, I'm the Night. Musically, it's pretty much like more of the same. Follow these lyrics. It's not funny that I had like that Freudian slip earlier with Vince Neil. I'm like, this is literally Motley Crue now. Take a look at my ice cream cone, baby. Go ahead, can't wait to take you home. Beat you with my stick. What is that? Who wrote this shit? Beat you with my stick. All right, check out the title track. I do cocaine. What is going on? What is this shit? Oh yeah. Let's fucking hear it for Terry Glaze. Unfortunately, well, he didn't die, but he left the band. Of course, Phil Anselmo joined the band. So, this was really the turning point for the band, right? As much as I love dear old Terry Glaze, he doesn't hold a candle at all to Phil vocally. You can really hear in this album fucking revitalization for the band. The band sounds, a lot more creatively varied on this one. The songwriting is better. Like, there's a lot more hooks on this album. Actually, I would say for the first time in their whole career, There were actually, like, good hooks on this album. But yeah, this album kind of slaps, to be honest. I'm actually quite a big fan of this one. There's still a lot of, like, cheesy glam shit on this one, don't get me wrong. But they're definitely edging towards a heavier sound on this one, and you can hear that. This is such a terrible idea to open the album on this one. This song sucks. So you can definitely hear Diamond's, like, found his sound now. Oh yeah, this bit is actually pretty sick. Hard right, dude, this song slaps. No, I think this is that really cringe song that Dime sang. Again, like, well, these lyrics sound like they're like badly translated or something. Don't stop, roll, die. That's enough of that. So yeah, power metal. It's definitely the most listenable out of the first 4. After that, things took a massive, massive turn. Their next album they came out with was Cowboys from Hell. One of the most legendary metal albums of all time. Like going from power metal to Cowboys from Hell. It's like they jumped like fucking like 20 years into the future. So yeah, I mean, like, what is there to say about this album, right? They basically just like invented like their whole new genre. Sort of like a weird mix of thrash and like early groove metal. So yeah, I mean, like, you know, everyone knows these fucking songs, right? You know. Already, like, how much fucking better does that sound, like, production-wise? His guitar playing is fucking crazy. How much he refined his style in this one. You've got, like, early proto-groove metal, like this intro. I mean, like, again, like, nothing really sounded like this before. And, of course, Domination. So it's pretty much just like a straight-up thrash song, right? Yeah. The Sleep, probably my favorite Pantera guitar solo. And yeah, Cemetery Gates, in my opinion, is probably the best metal ballad of all time. Just like such a well-structured song, and it never gets boring. Legendary riff, dude. Then, of course, after that, we have a Vulgar Display of Power. What a run of albums, dude. Going from one of the most classic albums in metal to another one that's arguably even more classic. I feel like they've completely shedded their older sound, and they're sort of like all in on this new sound that they've made. This sort of like a fresh groove metal sound with this thrash influences. This one is definitely more serious, heavier, a bit darker. And it has a very, very harsh mix, and it just gives me a headache after a few songs. Of course, Mouth for War, one of the best metal openers of all time. Of course, you got Walk. What's there to say? It's one of the most famous, iconic metal songs ever. Like this bit, doesn't it just sound like somebody like just strolling down the street? These songs are still really heavy, like even to this day. But it never prioritizes trying to be heavy over, no, hooks and memorable songs. So, moving on, Far Beyond Driven. I'll be honest, this is the point where I start to sign out of Pantera a little bit. It starts to get a bit more, like, serious. I feel like they start to lose the catchiness a bit. And, like, they also start to lean more into, like, that sort of southern sound on this. You know, this album still has plenty of classics on. So, Strength Beyond Strength, let's go! What a way to open the album. Straight to the point. They turned up everything up even further. The groovy parts are groovier. The thrashy parts are thrashier. Yeah, it's still heavy as shit. There's so many creative riffs as well. It seems like you guys are wanting to listen to Slaughtered. This was like the blueprint for groove metal, in my opinion. I feel like this is the album and the sound that everyone ripped off for the longest time. I'm like, look, this bit. Spheres of Madness by Decapitated, right? Like, so many bands just like ripped off this style. This is another gripe I have with later Pantera. And when Phil starts doing this sort of like mumbling thing, like, I fucked your girlfriend last night while you snored and drooled out. I fucked your girlfriend last night. And now we get on to the Great Southern Trendkill. Again, they're continuing the trend that they've set it in, just intensifying with every album. You know, it's got groovier, got heavier. It's definitely a lot darker and more serious album than the previous ones. The opening song, the Great Southern Trendkill. Drag the Waters. This is one of my favorite Pantera intros. There's too much rambling fill later. All the money in the fucking world. To me personally, Pantera just doesn't work so well as like a really serious band. They just lost a little bit of magic, I think. Very nice. And of course, Floods, one of the most famous Pantera solos. Exactly. Right, then we're on to the very last album, Reinventing the Steel. Again, though I feel like maybe this is a little bit more fun than the last one. You know, you've got Revolution's My Name. Fun little groovy number. This is more closer to the sound that like I want to hear when I listen to Pantera, right? Just something that's a bit more like fun. Oh yeah, this intro fucking slaps, dude. Are you ready? Speaking of sick intros. By this point in their career, I just like can't take Phil's vocals seriously. Yeah, it's fine. None of the later Pantera albums are bad. It's just a bit boring, a bit like... Right, so we have done it. We have listened to the entirety of Pantera's back catalogue. It is time to do what must be done. Rank every single Pantera album. So we try and formulate the most objective as possible ranking that we can. All right, the Glaze Chamber has returned, boys and girls. PST 88. Yeah! Maybe we could have that as well. Shit, you have to the yes tier. All right, so what was the first one? Right, Metal Magic. So, the first three glam albums, the Glaze albums, the Glaze trilogy, the Glazeology. Metal Magic is the one I enjoyed the most. Projects of the Jungle was just like really boring. I'm the Night was just bad, to be honest. Yeah, Metal Magic was the most fun. So, you know what? I'm going to stick Metal Magic in D, and I think Projects in the Jungle and I'm the Night, I'm sorry, but they are relegated to the Glaze Chamber. Okay, so, Cowboys from Hell. Oh shit, yeah, I missed out Power Metal. Oh, next up, I believe it's Power Metal. I love now that like in the YouTube edit, it's going to be everyone like spamming S. Yes, Power Metal is definitely an S tier album. It's definitely a cut above the others. It's easy C tier. Where is Cowboys from Hell going? There's only one place Cowboys from Hell is going. Let's go up in Glussy Tight tier. Anyway. Vulgar display of power, modern metal as we know it would not exist without this album. Glussy Tight tier is probably just a cut above Cowboys as well. So Far Beyond Driven. It gets a little bit harder to rank from this point. This isn't really obvious to me where this one should go. What do you think? I think Far Beyond Driven is right at the top of A. It's pretty close. Like, it's pretty damn close. It's still a sick album. A solid piece of music. Right. Great Southern Trendkill. More serious, bit more po-faced. Phil Anselmo started doing a little bit of this. It's definitely an A-tier album. You think it's above or below Far Beyond Driven? It does have less iconic songs though, doesn't it? That's the thing. I think Far Beyond Driven is a notch above Great Southern Trendkill, just because of how many fucking classics it has on it. So, Reinventing the Steel. Probably the one I enjoy least out of like the post-Glaze albums. We're gonna slap it in B. That looks good there. So yeah, I think this is about as compromising and as objective as we can make this. But there we go. We're gonna lock that in. The definitive Pantera tier list that you can absolutely not question because it is 100% perfect. All hail the Glaze.
All right, mate. Do that. Do that. Do that. Nice one.